A massive announcement today. Can you just tell us a little bit about the details behind it?
Yeah, we've done a deal with Copperbox, which is one of the Olympic venues on the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, to promote 6 promotions per year at the venue. It's a 7,000 seat venue, so 42,000 people will have the opportunity to come along and see some real top quality boxing. Our first show's on the 21st of September, which amongst other fights that we're going to announce has a cracking all British fight featuring Billy-Joe Saunders against John Ryder, 2 London fighters, both undefeated, and in what we call a trade, a real barn burner. So that's the one fight that's been announced, and there'll be probably about another 8 fights to be announced on the same card.
Was this deal a long time in the making? Obviously, we knew that when the venues were built that there was going to be a legacy programme for them. Had you been talking to GLL before the Games, or has this been since the Games?
Off and on, but mostly since the Games, because obviously everybody was focused on the Games and getting it together. And also, I think they were the legacy group were looking for operators of venues. So they've got Greenwich are now the operators. We've got a great relationship with them, and we look forward to working with them on these great fights.
There's not another boxing promoter in Britain that's put on bigger nights than you. You've done massive stadiums, like you said. You've done the Millennium Stadium for Calzaghe Kessler, but you've also done small hall stuff, which is obviously the bread and butter of boxing promoters. But this is a great sort of in-between venue, 7,000 people for big fights, but it's going to feel quite special inside there, I imagine.
It is. I mean, first of all, there's nothing, certainly in London, you've got York Hall, 1,200 seats, and maybe a couple of venues scattered around the capital may seat 2,000. Then you've got to go to Wembley, and that's a 12,500 seat venue. So this is perfect. It's a perfect venue for the type of fights that I'm looking to put on over the period of time. And as you say, the legacy of it all is that they're purpose-built sports venues. So the sight lines are superb. There's not a bad seat in the house. It's got great infrastructure. It's probably, from an area that was, pretty much of a run-down area. Now it's a fabulous area. It's got great shopping facilities. I mean, you can have a day out, can't you? Not just go to the fight. If the wife doesn't like boxing, bring the wife out, send her shopping. There's a restaurant. There's lots of restaurants, but more importantly, the transport facilities are second to none. So that is very important, and that's why I'm thrilled about being able to promote the shows at the Copperbox.
And for your boxers and Queensbury Promotions boxers, is it a nice carrot to dangle in front of them that they may be boxing in smaller venues, but eventually they get to box in such a lovely and new big venue? It
is, and I think that certainly for London, the London guys, they got, it has. Although it's only been, it's only last year was the Olympics, which we had a fabulous Olympics. It's already got history there. Some of the best sportsmen in the world have already appeared there. So to walk into venues like that, it does bring something out of the guys, and certainly from the boxing point of view, I know they're going to love it.
You've announced obviously that Billy-Joe Saunders and John Ryder are going to be fighting on that bill, but perhaps not headlining it. To develop that bill, you're going to be looking at how Chisora gets through past his test against Malik Scott, and Cleverly's got a fight announced tomorrow. Are they figuring to be on the bill as well?
We're looking at the moment to look at all the different avenues. We've got some big fights lined up, and it's just a matter of getting them contracted. We've announced it today because I think what the concern was that we're going to get lost in the holiday period, people being away, so we wanted to get it out there, and we had a great support as well from Boris Johnson. He said how thrilled he is that we're putting it on there, so it's good stuff.
Is it an exclusive deal that you're the only boxing promoter that can use the venue, or is that not disclosed?
No one's allowed to promote within certain days, so my dates basically make it that I'm the only person who'll be promoted.
And let's just talk about you as a promoter. You've obviously been very busy building a boxing channel. It's almost 2 years old now, BoxNation. It's gone from a channel that people thought wouldn't last, but it's still here. It's putting on great fights. You've put on some massive international fights recently as well. How's it been for you? Have you had to take a back seat from your actual promotional hat and put on your sort of TV executive hat more recently?
I wouldn't have done it. It's been a headache. I mean, to be quite honest, it wasn't how we started off. Is not how we expected it to be. There were some investors who fell out. It was a terrible financial strain. It was my family who kept it going, along with a couple of outside sources. But it's been tough. But we've got a great team there. Not just the people my side at the promotion, people who work there. Simon Green headed up for a year now. As you know, now he's head of sport for BT, so quality guy. Jim McMunn steps into his shoes, who's doing a fabulous job. Got Richard Brooke, our chairman, the former finance director from Sky. We've got great people working with us, and they're all so supportive in the hard times they've been there. And there's nothing better than that. And we've done it in the worst economic climate this country's ever had. So hopefully we go from strength to strength, and we're looking to put on bigger and better shows. We're looking to be able to improve the quality. We will be going HD and launching another channel in probably the next 4 or 5 months. So hopefully it's going well.
It's exciting times, and for the boxing fans, you've shown, like I said, some big international fights. One of the biggest ones was obviously Mayweather versus Guerrero recently. The question a lot of fans will want to ask is Mayweather-Alvarez, arguably the biggest fight on the planet this year and for the last few years. Has there been any discussions with BoxNation to screen that fight yet?
Well, the talks are ongoing, so hopefully we should be okay. We've shown Floyd's last 2 fights, and they've gone very well for the channel, and hopefully we'll continue to do so. But we'll see what happens.
Great, Frank. Best of luck with this venture. Cheers.